What is the central idea? One of the most common questions students are going to be asked about is the central idea of a piece, or really some related questions are really asking about the central idea also. We're going to take a look at what is the central idea of a piece of writing and how students can figure out what that central idea is and answer questions related to it. First and foremost, the central idea is the main idea or the most important point in a piece of writing. Sometimes this will be called a main idea or a key idea, or it'll ask, might go along the lines of, what is the author's main perspective on this argument, depending on the type of question that we were talking about. You can think of a central idea as a thesis statement. A thesis statement, if you're writing one paragraph, your topic sentence is usually your thesis statement. Or if you have a longer essay, you're going to have a thesis statement in your introduction paragraph. And that thesis statement really sums up everything that the article is about. So the central idea, if you're going to take everything that article said and boil it down to one central point, what's that going to be? And that's going to be your central idea. How do you find the central idea? Really, it's not too hard. If you're looking at an article, there's a couple of places you're going to start. You start with the title. The title will usually give us a very big clue about what the article is going to be about. Then you're going to look at the headings. Those headings are going to give us information about what the article is going to be talking about and give us a good idea about what the author is trying to get across to us. Then we're going to take a look at the evidence. What does the author include a lot of evidence about? What does the author include a lot of facts or details? What concepts does the evidence support? When you figure out what point has the best evidence supporting it, that's going to be your central idea. So we're going to look for whatever has the most evidence to support it. Sometimes there are going to be related questions that you're going to answer that don't ask for the central idea, but are really asking about the same type of thing. The question might say, what is the author's central message from the text? This is really asking about that central idea again, that main idea. It's asking, what does the author really want you to learn from this text? That's their most important idea. What inference can you make about the author's opinion? If this article is expressing an opinion, the most important opinion the author is going to have is their central idea. So that's really what you're going to be looking for. You might have a question that says, what is the main idea from the text? Main idea is a synonym for central idea. How did the author feel about the topic? Depending on the question, sometimes this is really just asking that central idea. If the topic is something where the author has a position or they have a stance, something that they keep arguing for, something they keep giving evidence to support a certain belief, that's going to be their central idea. What was the author's purpose in writing this passage? Now, sometimes, depending on what's going on, this might be or might not be the same thing as a central idea. An author is going to have the purpose of informing or persuading or entertaining, but depending on what's going on, depending on what they are writing about, the author is going to have a specific particular purpose. In this case of this presentation, in the presentation central idea, Mr. Holsworth's purpose was to inform students about how to answer questions about the central idea of a piece of writing. That was my purpose in writing this. At the same time, if you're going to ask what was the central idea of this presentation, you would say gaining information about answering questions that deal with the central idea of a piece of writing. So they are very much related questions. So when you approach a question that has central idea in it, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to look for. It's very approachable. It's very manageable. You just got to make sure that you approach it from the right perspective and you answer the question properly.